What is going on, everyone? Thanks for joining me on episode 3. In this episode of How to Be a Personal Trainer, I'm going to be talking to you a bit about how to extract PT clients from the gym floor specifically. So this can be a little bit of a funny area, especially if you are just starting off out in the industry, or if you're a new PT in the industry and you're still building your confidence in approaching people on the gym space. Don't get me wrong, people, it can be a very intimidating thing to do. However, we need to work at getting a little better at getting over this and becoming a little bit less shy and working on developing a little bit more confidence in approaching these potential clients and prospects on the gym floor. One way that you can do that is just work on training more and being a little bit more present in the gym space. The more you train, the more knowledge you acquire, the more videos you watch, the more courses you take, the more time you spend, of course, in the industry within your gym, the better you get to know your staff, the better you get to know the members, the easier it is going to be for you to extract and walk up to clients on the gym floor. So with that being said, it's going to bring me on to my next point, and that is the fact that you need to really focus on delivering value to these potential prospects, everyone. So what do I mean by that exactly? So what I mean by that is don't approach someone with the intention that you are just hungry to get them converted as a PT client. You want to see something that you can do to help that client, whether it's a technique correction, maybe some nutrition advice, or anything else that you feel might deliver them some value for free. You need to give them your time and value for free at least a few times potentially before you can have any hope of extracting them and turning them into a paying client, which is the ultimate goal. So there are a few different ways you can do this, but in this video I'm just going to give you the most common example and common way that myself and a lot of my colleagues have extracted clients from a gym floor space. There may be a lot of different ways and techniques that other personal trainers do this in their gym, but I'm just going to be referring specifically to my experience at Virgin Active and Streatham Gym in London. So let me give you a little bit of a scenario. Let's just say it's 5 p.m. on a Monday evening and I've just walked onto the gym floor and I've set myself an hour of time to allow for some lead generation. So if those of you that don't know already, I do suggest if you're just starting out in the industry that you apply at least 1 to 2 hours per day on some kind of lead generation to help build your client base as soon as possible. So I'm in the gym, it's a Monday night, 5 p.m. What do? I look around. Now the first and most easiest thing that you can look out for is someone doing a basic exercise with incorrect technique. One of the most common exercises that are done with incorrect technique, in my opinion, from my experience, are squats. Whether they be bodyweight squats, weighted squats, particularly the back squat with the barbell on the back in the squat rack. I would say that an average of 70 to even 80% of average gym goers have some area of significant improvement required that you are able to help them with. Now, of course, everyone, you need to understand that obviously if you're going to help someone out with their back squat, you need to have, it doesn't necessarily have to mean you have to have a perfect understanding of the back squat, because we always improve on our exercises and techniques as we go through as PTs and fitness professionals in this industry. However, you need to be sure that you've got more knowledge than that person doing the exercise. Okay, so let's give you an example here. I see someone on a Monday night, I've walked into the gym, it's 5 p.m, they're in the squat rack, they've got the bar on their back and they're coming down into a squat, and I just noticed that two things really stand out to me. Their heels are coming up off the floor as they reach the lower point of their squat, and also they're squatting a little bit above parallel level. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with squatting above parallel, okay, but for the average person, they probably don't understand the benefits of maybe trying to squat to parallel or slightly below, or even arse to grass, which is basically as low as you can possibly go, okay, if your mobility allows it. We'll cover that in another video. So, I see this person struggling in the gym and I think, okay, great. I've watched them for a few minutes. I'm going to go over there and I'm just going to offer some advice. Now, it's really important when you approach someone in the gym, there's a certain way to speak to them. You don't want to go over with the arrogance and the energy as if you are a know-it-all and you're just telling them what to do. So you don't want to go in and say something like, oh, hey, actually, you're doing that wrong and the technique doesn't look too great. Let me show you how it's done right. That is not, in my opinion, the right way to approach any client on the gym floor. The conversation should go a little bit more like this. You would approach the client and say, oh hi, how's your training going today? They might respond with, yeah, it's a good session, I'm just working on a bit of squats tonight. You could say something like, oh, okay, that sounds great. Yeah, squats is a really good exercise. And you could say something like, why are you training squats? What's the purpose? Just out of interest, okay? So you be nice, you be friendly. Do not assume anything, okay? Allow that person to give you some answers, give you the information. Don't make it about yourself. Don't make them feel like you're trying to show them that you're some amazing trainer or something like this. You might be, but that's not the point of this. The point is to make them understand that they are being listened to, and you just want to know about them and just get to know them, and then the advice will come about improving their technique. They might say, look, yeah, I'm trying to improve my lower body strength and lose a little bit of body fat as well. At that point, you can say, oh, that sounds really cool. Okay. I've got a few suggestions for you. Have you ever tried trying to come a little bit lower down in your squat? They might say, oh no, why is that? And you could say something like, well, actually, if you are able to come a little bit lower down in your squat and even work on maybe just keeping the heels down a little bit more to the floor, you're actually more likely to engage your glute and hamstring muscles, which in turn is going to help your posture and your overall development of your legs, and it's also going to really help keep your knees out and avoid injury in the knees or the ankles, and even possibly in the lower back. How's that sound? Then they might say something like, oh, okay, I never really thought about that. Great. You've already started to get some rapport developing. Now at this stage you would say, do you want me to show you what I mean, and I can take you through a set? And they might say, yeah, sure. Now everyone, bear in mind that not every client is going to be accepting of your knowledge. Some people have a few issues with ego that they're still working on, and then there is a chance that they might just say, you know what, I'm actually good, thanks, don't worry. You need to be prepared and accept that rejection. Do not take it personally, okay? In every gym space and in life, you are going to face a percentage of rejection, all right? It's just a part of the process. Do not take it personally. If that does happen, just say, okay, thank you for your time anyway, move on, next, okay? Forget it, leave it in the past, okay? You keep refining your strategy, and that will happen less and less, and you will gradually get more and more clients. So we're still with this client working on the squats. You get in the squat rack, mind you, you need to be confident that you can show them how to squat properly. You squat down, you show them that you're keeping your heels down, your back is straight, your knees are in line with the toes, you're optimizing a nice solid depth, your head is in the right position, everything looks good, okay? Then you say, do you want to try that for me? They come in, perform the squat, the cues are working, okay? The heels are down, the knees are out a bit more, and they're actually managing to meet parallel. They do a set, you say, how did that feel? They may respond with something like, yeah, actually, you know what, I felt like there was a lot more control with that set, that was really, really cool. You've explained the benefits to why you've asked them to do that, okay? So another point that I really want to just reiterate, everyone, is the fact that don't just tell someone to do something because you think it's better, or basically what I'm trying to say is there has to be a reason why you're changing their technique around. Right, just to reiterate on that again, the third time, you say, okay, have you tried squatting to parallel? If you can reach parallel on your squats, you're going to be able to engage your glutes and hamstrings more, which will in turn help you with all the other various benefits that I described previously. So there has to be a scientific and logical reason why you're telling someone to change their technique. Then they're going to think, okay, that person or this trainer is really cool. He or she has given me some great value in a short amount of time, and actually, I'm probably not going to get injured now, whereas before I probably would, and I'm actually going to get better results now. Then that person's going to think to themselves potentially, what's going to happen if I train with this person a bit more? At that point, maybe let's say 10, 15 minutes has gone by, you've watched them for a couple of sets, you can say to that person, how would you feel about booking in a complimentary 30 to 45 minute taster session with me next week, and we can go through your squat technique as well as several other exercises that I believe could really be helpful for your weight loss and your injury rehabilitation. Then they might say, okay, great, no worries at all, let's book it in. And then you could say something like, so we'll go through the whole session, and at the end of the session, I'll just talk to you a little bit about how personal training works, and we can see if it's something that you may want to consider after the session's finished. Now, that bit at the end there, you may not even necessarily need to include that, but I do personally believe that it's important that you do mention at least that you will talk to them a little bit about personal training at the end of the session, and that's where you would show them price and everything like that. But that, again, everyone, is going to be detailed in another video. It's the consultation process, how to structure the consultation process, and how to close the deal and get them to sign on as a client. So everyone, I hope you've really enjoyed this video. Again, this is just one pure example of what would happen on the gym space, but I can tell you what, the reason I use this example is because I have gotten at least probably 30 to 40 clients from the gym floor by just approaching them and helping them with their squat technique, turning that little greeting or that rapport meeting into a taster session, 30 to 45 minutes, and from that taster session, turning them into a lifelong client. So it is very possible, and it's not going to come right away. It will come naturally, more naturally to some people more than others. However, if you do persist with it and just follow the steps and are consistent, you will improve your overall ability to approach clients on the gym floor with confidence. Hope you enjoyed the video today, everyone. I'd also like to mention that in the description below there are a few different books that I highly recommend to improve your overall skills as a personal trainer. And also, if you really enjoyed the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you feel that there is anyone else that could benefit from the knowledge in this video, please share the video. It will help me to, it will just encourage me to create more content for all of you people out there watching, and that's about it. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in episode 4. Peace out.